Christmas is over and sourdough content resumes. And today we're looking at Dutch oven versus open bake. Now I made some dough on Christmas Eve, I think it was. So it's been about a week and I put it in the fridge and I kind of forgot about it, to be honest, and I thought, why not bake it up? So and I did actually make it into two separate loaves. So this is my normal recipe, split in half, put into two bannotones and then left in the fridge for a week. In the lead up to Christmas, I can't remember, but this dough was either under or overproofed. I can't remember because it was a week ago and we've had Christmas since then. But I do remember that this did get kind of forgotten about, and then to have then left it in the fridge for a week, this poor dough and bread, if it achieves anything, it's a miracle, because the dough I forgot about and then into the fridge I forgot about. So let's take a little look at the Dutch oven versus the open bake. Now I used like a pizza stone, and I put a pan of water in the oven, and then I just used my Dutch oven as normal, but I use a little Dutch oven. So this is a 20 centimetre Dutch oven, and this doesn't quite fit in there. So it's not like 100%, but you know, over here we're always trying out different ideas and different ways of doing things, because when it comes to sourdough, nothing is correct. It's all about what you like and what works for you and your recipe and your home and your family and your flour and everything else. It's just exploring what works for you, sharing tips, sharing ideas. So let's start with this one first, which is the Dutch oven bake. Now I did bake them both at the same time for the same amount of time and the same temperature. Now when it comes to this, I think it did go for a slightly funny shape, but that was more to do with the sling, like squishing it in there a little bit. It does have a bit of a spring on it, but when we put them next to each other, that one definitely has a better rise, but that's because of the bottom. Let's have a look and see. But like I said, I can't remember if it was under or over. I know that I did kind of forget about the loaf with the dough before it went in the fridge. Oh, actually looks all right. Looks quite a nice even distribution of bubbles there, so that looks good. And then let's take a little look inside this one and have a little look. Now the open bake is definitely browner and crispier, but then I kind of would expect that. It was slightly tougher to cut. I would kind of expect that because it was exposed in the oven the whole time. Whoop. That's really interesting because it's giving a nice spring, but the shape of it being very triangular and the fact that we've got large bubbles at the top shows that that was underproofed. But this one doesn't. I'm going to cut it another way just to see if there are any other bubbles in there. That's really interesting. They've actually baked completely different. Yeah, look. They've baked completely different. That's so weird. I'm going to cut this one the other way as well just to see. Yeah, look, the bubbles. So when you see the bubbles, if you see really large bubbles and then more towards the top of the bread, then that does indicate that the loaf was underproofed. So this was underproofed. And that's what I mean by, I forgot about the dough on the side, and then I didn't keep record of what time I'd made the dough and when I'd added the starter and everything else. So I was just like, it's Christmas, quick, just wrap it up and stick it in the fridge. And then I forgot about it for a week. So that's really interesting that these are the same dough from the same batch. I literally just chopped it in half, put them both in the fridge in two different bannotones, and then put one in the Dutch oven and then did one as an open bake. One is showing underproofed and one is showing not. How odd. Riddle me that. That's very strange, but it just goes to show that tiny, tiny little differences do make a difference to your final loaf. So if you are struggling with trying to create what you want to be or to perceive to be a perfect loaf of bread, just remember that the tiniest little differences can make all the difference to achieving the goal that you're looking for or not achieving the goal. So keep practicing, and I've got something so exciting coming in the next couple of weeks, and it's a baking journal which is going to help you understand the process of making sourdough for yourself. So it's less about following instructions and more about understanding your bakes and what you need to do next time to make it even better, and I literally cannot wait. It's in production as we speak. They're going to be printed so incredibly soon, and they're going to be up for sale, and I literally cannot wait to share them with you. It's so exciting.